Pastor Sam Adeyemi's question: why do some nations without God develop faster? Have you ever wondered why some nations that don't openly profess faith in God seem to develop faster than those that do? Pastor Sam Adeyemi was asked this question, and his response is eye-opening. Today, we'll explore how God's principles can transform nations, communities, and even our personal lives. Stay tuned.
A loved one asked me recently, how come countries that don't know God are developing faster than us, that say that we know God or have developed? I replied, we're the ones that have concluded that they don't know God. We're looking at them through our own prism, and we concluded they don't know God. I said they have experienced a dimension of God that is foreign to our own culture. Their definition of miracles is a bit different from our own. And I'm tracking back to what I shared yesterday, especially where I landed my discussion yesterday morning. The wisdom of God and the power of God. The part of the world that believes in miracles, the supernatural. And then the part that values logic. And I said, the ideological foundation of where you were raised influences the dimension of God that appeals to you. And Paul the Apostle said the two dimensions are in God through Christ. To us that are saved, Christ is the wisdom of God and the power of God. So I said, each time that I'm on a flight, especially transatlantic, massive jumbo jet, when it taxis and takes off into the air, I said, I feel like I am part of the making of a miracle. I said, but the African does not recognize that kind of a miracle. That something built by man can take off in the air, travel thousands of miles, and land gently in another country, far away. We don't recognize the miracles in principles. We don't see them. It's like when you put a seed in the soil, it disintegrates and then a shoot comes out. A plant that has never existed before, and it grows into a tree. Is that not a miracle? And it's a miracle that is governed by the principle of reproduction, or we call it the law of sowing and reaping.
The question and the response. The question asked was, how come countries that don't seem to know God are developing faster than those that do? Pastor Sam Adeyemi responded by saying this perception is often based on the assumption that these nations lack knowledge of God, but in reality, many of these countries are thriving because they follow principles rooted in God's wisdom, whether or not they associate them with faith. He explained that adhering to principles like integrity, hard work, discipline, and innovation is where true miracles lie. The miracle in principles. Miracles aren't always supernatural events. Sometimes, the greatest miracles happen when we live by God's principles. Think about it. When communities embrace values like fairness and accountability, they create systems that flourish. That's a miracle in action. Faith without works is dead. James 2 verse 26. Faith isn't just about belief, it's about action. James 2 verse 26 reminds us that faith without works is dead. Scriptural backing, 3:30 to 5 o'clock. The Bible is filled with wisdom on these principles. Here are a few examples. Proverbs 10 verse 4. Lazy hands make for poverty, but diligent hands bring wealth. Proverbs 6 verses 6 to 8. Go to the ant, you sluggard. Consider its ways and be wise. Matthew 25 verses 14 to 30. The parable of the talents teaches us the importance of using resources wisely. These scriptures show us that applying godly principles is not just spiritual, it's practical, real-world examples. Now, Let's look at examples of nations thriving because they practice these principles. Japan, known for its discipline and innovation, has built a reputation for technological advancements. Scandinavian countries, focusing on fairness and integrity, rank high in quality of life and innovation. These nations show us that it's not about being labeled as Christian or not. It's about applying values that align with God's wisdom. A message for viewers. What can we learn from this? Applying God's principles starts with us. Imagine if we all committed to practicing integrity, fairness, and innovation in our homes, communities, and workplaces. This is how true transformation begins. The question isn't about who knows God and who doesn't. It's about living out His principles daily. Let's be the miracle our world needs by applying these values in our lives. Thank you for watching Truth and Clarity Christian News on Agiro's Media Hub. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content.